In this video, right, this YouTube video, right, that I'm about to do, will show you everything you need to know about pretty much being a noob. Okay, give me a sec. Jeez. Jeez, bless me. Jeez. Okay. Bit random, but alright. Yeah, I'll pretty much go through what units to use as a low level because, and you know, how to use them, of course. I'll show you how to use them. We're going to go through how to be a buffer because people are buffers, and how to be a debuffer because people are debuffers. If you don't got DPS, go one of those 2 rounds because you'll get invited to more games than as a DPS because DPS is a bit challenging. It's like how there's barely any healers in games, right? It's kind of like the healer situation. You can get through your challenges and stuff by joining as, technically I guess you could say, call yourself a healer. But yeah, hope you enjoy. Yes, I know. Units, right? You've just come to this game after years, right? After a year of it being down, and you're like, what units do I use, right? Or let's say you're new and you don't have any mythics yet. I just want to point out, right, the strongest units you can use as a noob, right? As a new player. Because let's be honest, not everyone's going to have insane teams or meta units or old battle pass units or even the current battle pass units because the battle pass has only just come out. So that's what I'm here for. Sure, I would normally make a tier list, but I'm just going to give my straight up opinion. That way I don't want to, because I don't want to claim anything's official, but this is just my experience, my opinion as to what's good. Okay, now if you have Papa Girl, use Papa Girl. One of the best units in my opinion. She's slow, she does have very high damage, it's insane, she can solo most things. But let's say you're up to the legendary stage, you can only afford legendary, right? Alright, we'll skip to the mythicals in a little bit, but this is legendary right now, okay? So legendary, okay? Right. I did prepare for this, but Commander, first of all, it's one of my favorite. Right, especially if you can curse him with the reduced cooldown. Who cares about lowering his damage a little bit? He's a summoning unit. Right, very good for killing storyline. Him and Geo, a very nice combo. Geo at the front, him buffing and summoning. It's pretty fire. Right, and then along with that. Okay, now remember, I'm going to make this as quick as possible. Okay, along with that, Wind Dragon. Wind Dragon is one of my favorite buffing units as well. That's another buff one, and you can make a line of them to buff magic damage. You just make like a line of them, and you can increase to like 100%. So very clean. What I'll do is I'll make a team, right, and we'll just use all the buff units. Well, not all the buff units, but all the units I think are good. And in that way, you guys can take a look, see which ones you want to grind, because you only really need 1 or 2 of these guys that I'm recommending. The rest are a bit, if you want, best to just replace it with the mythical. Optional. Now, if you have it, she is very cheap to trade for. Nami, she's a mythical. She's a mythical we're going to move to. She is a money unit. I'll put this one, as I said, this one's very good. Where's Nami? Because Nami was a battle pass unit, and for some reason she was very low valued as a non-shiny. Shiny is a bit more value, but still affordable. Okay, now let's find out other units. So Goldblade, not really. Kind of not my favorite unit. Dusk Reaper, he's good. Don't get me wrong, but I'm more of the Riz family fan. But let's be honest, she's pretty expensive. All of them were. Okay, so let's shoot her for now. Idle Star came into the banner, and still is coming to the banner. Make sure that you get her. Mythicals aren't that hard to get, so you don't actually have to worry too much. Alrighty, let's head into a mission. Moving on to our next part, right? Need more money. Oh, no, I don't got money. This guy thought I could give him in-game money. What? Sir? What is he on? This is slowing. I can place my unit. You pretty much just slow the unit to the point where they can't move. It's the best strategy I've ever done. Right, it's bloody beautiful. Griffin is expensive to place. He's trying to place Griffin so that he can buff everything, which is fair, but Griffin's an endgame unit. You're not going to have it as a new player, so that's why I'm not going to include it in my video. If you have Griffin, by the way, scratch everything, just use Griffin to buff and use the rest DPS units, because Griffin's buff is insane. But he's an endgame unit, you're not going to use him. Now after this, right, this is something I like to do. You don't have to do it, but I like to place my money units at the back. There are better placements, but I'm just placing because I'm not actually going to use them as DPS. I think the last hit, then they give you money. Preferably you'd want to use this on, let's say, story or infinite mode, or at the start of any mission, because yeah, but I was silly and didn't use it at the start. Last but not least, this girl, which will replace which will make things cheaper, I guess, in the short sense. You know, upgrade her, stage, lives, etc. Different types of buffs, which is kind of nice, kind of clean. And apart from that, it's kind of all my units. I already placed Geraldo, which is, well, you know him, Mr. Time Stop. We'll just stop the time for a second in a small little area where he attacks, and you know, it's a bit of a stop and slow. So these are very cheap units that you can use and that anyone can use. Makes your life a whole lot easier, makes the game a whole lot easier. And yeah, apart from that, that's kinda it. We got a raid to clean up, so I'll catch you guys in a moment, where I explain some more things. Alrighty, now that we're back in lobby, okay, let's explain a few things. So there are certain buffs that you won't use, or certain units that you won't use. Sure, there is an infinite method in buffing, but I myself like to be lazy and just make a string buff. People don't mind unless you have a unless someone has a griff buff. If someone has a griffin buff, you're pretty much not going to buff anything apart from slows, really. So I recommend either picking the buffing route and save up until you can get Griffin, and you know, just use these guys, because let's be honest, you can clear the story most of these guys. Most people accept you into the infinites and stuff because Griffin isn't really needed until you start getting into those double body whammy situations. But look, okay, you can also go into the debuff situation, bleeding, slows, bleed buffs, like, you know, buffing bleed damage, jeez. Reducing costs, attack speed buffing, you know what I mean? You can also just go into that type of buffing and debuffing, like slows, like as I said before, fire debuffs, etc. Because there's no way to lose that. Really, like, there's no way. Like, most of them are mythics and legendaries, the meta units. But yeah, apart from that, that's all that can really be said. I'll catch you guys later.